This is Keith Boggs with Stonebriar Property Inspections, and this is the debrief for 2365 Glen Ridge Drive. Got about 130 pictures here and several videos. We're going to go through over all that stuff right now. First picture you see here is just a picture of the front of the house. Nothing necessarily wrong. It's just for the title page of the report. Eventually, I'm going to get to where they click on the title page, and we'll play the video. Then I'm going to be sending to you. I haven't figured that out yet. But eventually, I will. This is when I first went up on the roof. This is just a damaged fascia board. There's a tree over here, and probably at some point the tree branch came in contact with that and probably just rubbed it raw. Okay. So there's no holes in the soffits, so it's not from critters trying to get in there. It's going to be in the report because it's a defect, but basically it's cosmetic. This is a plumbing vent that's broken off, again probably from a big tree branch at some point. It was up there and the wind blew that tree branch into that and broke it off, so now it's real short. That needs to be repaired because that could affect the drainage in the house. This needs to be 6 inches tall. Any handyman can do that. That's just where it's located. This is a hail damaged B vent. This is cosmetic. It doesn't affect the performance of that appliance. This just shows that there was a hail event. Pretty bad one. But the roof has no hail damage at all. So overall the roof's in great condition. And that's just where it's located. This is the video, I think. Yeah. It's not that long, it's about 2 minutes, so we'll just play it so you have it for the recording. These recordings are great because if there's something you can't get in touch with me about a question that we talked about, you can just record. And if you can remember about what happened, you can just fast forward to it. It's a good quality shingle. It's not a crappy builder grade 3,000. It's a decent shingle. So it should last you probably 20 more years. Does it have the replace date in there? You're supposed to put it in that thing.
3 years.
Yeah, it looks really new. There's some debris and guttering. Halfway through. Put the air back on. It's a bit hot. The other videos are much shorter. This is just
fine. Appreciate your feedback. Birds chirping.
Yeah.
At least it's not raining yet.
No. They gotta do something about that. They gotta.
I got a bunch of wood rot on this. Yeah, that's permanent, I believe, too, right? Almost done.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, they do. That's what you want to come to friends with them. Yeah. This is just cosmetic.
Okay. Nobody can see that probably.
No. This is when I first started in the exterior of the house. There are bait stations around the perimeter of the house, so there was likely attached termite treatment.
Okay.
There's no stickers under the sink, so I don't know that for sure. But with the amount of bait stations here, generally you don't see bait stations, especially in an older house, unless there's been some kind of activity. And so they're monitoring for, they've treated it and then they're monitoring for it. So you may want to just ask the sellers. I think it's under a company, right? Isn't it though?
Yeah.
As I was on TaxNet earlier, looking to the graph, it said LLC something.
Yeah, it's
so you may not be able to get the information, but maybe who knows? Maybe they do.
They have no.
Okay.
But they've never occupied the property.
No. I did not find any termites. And my sticker is right under here.
Okay.
So since I didn't find any termites, I'm going to give you a 1-year warranty.
Okay.
Sticker. Cool. So if any termites show up within 12 months from when you close, if you close the middle of next month, 12 months from that, you call the phone number here in Dallas.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot it for free.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
They also do road insulation, company does everything.
Awesome.
This is just a location of the gas meter. This is really just for me, but the state says I should tell you where it's at. That's where it's at.
Okay.
More bait stations. Another bait station. This is your condenser. Now the condenser appears to be pretty old.
Yeah. They're going to replace that.
They are going to replace it?
They are.
Because that was going to be one of the things I should bring up.
Yes.
That's good. Okay.
They said prior. It was
because it's not operating. It's not operating very well at all.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess when they replace it, they replace this. So I guess we can skip that. And this is missing insulation, but they'll put that on there too when they replace it. That's just a manufacturer's label.
Yeah,
this is
a little worn.
Yeah, yeah. This is the video. I guess I'll play it, even though they're going to replace it. So you've got it recorded. Yeah, it's in pretty good condition. It's just. I've seen condensers like 40 years old before, still working.
Whoa.
They're falling apart. I swear they're not going to work. That could be the very last day it works.
Yeah.
This is a failed window at the master. Probably one of the biggest things here is going to be the windows. Lots of failed windows. We'll go through that here as we go along.
I don't like failed windows. I'm going to give them a fix up.
They're
just like the
seal.
Okay.
Some of them you can barely tell. So if you're not, there's the energy efficient part of it, but if you're not super uncomfortable having windows that won't ever be cleaned, then you can have them resealed.
Yeah.
And if you reseal them, they're energy efficient again, but they won't become clean. So if you try to clean them inside and outside, they're always going to look dirty. Some people, my wife, that just drive her nuts. That's not good, but some people it doesn't bother them. As long as it's energy efficient, they're fine. This is the water pressure of the house. It's about 50, a little bit over 50. The range is 40 to 80, so it's within the range. It looks like possibly organic growth. Somebody's going to have to get up in there and look around and see what's going on. Back when they built this house, they were terminating the exhaust vents off of the bathrooms. They would always terminate them right by these soffit vents. So that could be a moisture from a soffit vent.
Where is this again?
This is right back here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put an arrow pointing at it. So I'll circle it and I'll point an arrow pointing to where it's at. This is wood rot right here. If I got a close-up picture, yeah. A little bit of wood rot right there on that one trim piece. The rest of the exterior cladding looks fine. This is high soil at the back of the structure. So you do have some conducive conditions for termites. High soil is one of them, and also any vegetation under the drip edge of the gutters or touching the structure is considered conducive conditions. If you're doing a VA loan or FHA loan, they may require that you remediate those or treat those areas before they fund that loan. If you're paying cash or you're regular conventional, then it won't matter to them for funding purposes. Same thing here, high soil. This is showing a little bit of movement, separation of the trim board. This is not structurally significant. The foundation is actually doing great. Very little signs of any kind of movement. This is, you can see this kind of stuff in brand spanking new houses. And that's just where it's located. This is another vent that's damaged. It's actually tall enough so it's not going to affect the drafting. That's on the side of the house behind us here. On the house faces west, I think. South side. Another damaged fascia board. Damaged exhaust vent. That's off of the cooktop there. That's something you could do yourself to buy at Home Depot and reinstall it. Or a handyman could do it. Also high soil. This is a little separation of this barge board from the exterior veneer. Not structurally significant. It probably was that way when they built the house. And that's just where it's located up in there. This is vegetation. So the vegetation is under the drip vent and touching the structure. So that needs to be trimmed away again for the loan if you have that kind of loan. This is a little bit of wood rot of this fascia board here. Looks like it probably was pitched in the wrong direction, or at some point was pitched in the wrong direction, and so the water was overflowing, getting this board wet. So there's a few areas, very minor, few areas where you've got some fascia boards that are rotten. So that you want to have somebody go around and evaluate all those fascia boards and then repair or replace any of the ones that are on the exterior, because that could lead to water intrusion over time. That one just happens to be right up there in front of the house. And this is more vegetation. This is a pretty rotten board right here. That's right up front here. Pretty soon you're gonna start getting wind-driven rains getting into there. You'll start getting more rot. This is a test of the garage door. So we do a pressure reverse test to see if when it hits something, it reverses, and then we do an electronic eye test to see if it reverses when you put your foot in front of the eye. And so I'm gonna play this video so you can see that. And this first door worked fine. So basically, you just hit it within a second, reverse that way. If you press the pan or hit it or stop, and adjust it good. The next one's going to be short because there's a problem with the door. So when I start closing the next door after this test, with electronic eyes something. On the next door, as it's closing, I want you to look at the back of the door. On that other door, though. Not here, on the other door. Same video. Sorry. Go to the next video. Here we go.
Oh, holds in.
Yeah. And it won't close completely. I had to actually go over there and push it down. Yeah. So that door, they've done one repair, one pass repair on it. The problem with doing repairs is they just keep on breaking.
Yeah.
So just using the door.
The door, yeah. That's just a close-up picture. That's just where it's located. This is one of the GFCIs in the garage that is not GFCI protected. Now, when they built the house, it wasn't required to have GFCI in the garage, but part of the garage is GFCI. I guess they did it on their own, but that outlet right there is not GFCI protected. This is your water heater. It's a 2009. What's that? How many years is that?
8.
8 years.
Yeah. 18. Yeah.
So okay. How long do they last?
12 to 15 years.
Okay.
They can last a lot less. And I've also seen these guys 40 years old.
Okay.
So there were some rat droppings in there. So most of the rat droppings I saw was just in this little compartment where the water heater is. There was a few in the attic, but very, very minor. So I don't think they're up there moving around, nesting or anything. If they're up there nesting, generally you see a bunch of poop everywhere.
Right.
On top of the furnace, be covered with poop. And I didn't see any of that, just some minor stuff. I got some pictures of that. Just some rats probably getting in here when it gets cold and it's nice and warm by the water heater there.
You can't blame them.
Looks like the last water heater must have leaked at some point. This is moisture damage and looks like possibly mold. That's also gotten down to here, this moisture stain, but the black stuff is what I'm worried about.
Okay.
It's probably just on this gypsum board. Probably be fine just ripping out that gypsum board, and even you don't have to even put this, have an opening there, or you have something repaired. It's a minor fix. This is the pressure reducing, the TPR valve, and it's seized up, it won't work, so that needs to be replaced. Got messed up here, come on. I hit the wrong button, now it's stuck in that screen. Come on, there we go. That's just a blurry picture. This is your panel box. All the labeling is faded. This is the GFCI by the panel box, and it's not. This is another one that's not GFCI protected. There's 2 in the garage. That's the second one right there. I would definitely GFCI protect this one because you got stuff plugged into it.
Right.
Things you may be touching at some point. This is inside the panel box. These are called double tap neutrals, double and multiple tap neutrals, and so the neutrals should be like this: neutral, terminal, separation of the wires. And this is very common back in the day, even sometimes today. So to have electrician either add another bus bar, probably have to add another bus bar. This is in the attic, and this is on the way walking to the furnace. These are electrical wires that are just sitting in the walk area. So we don't want anywhere where somebody can trip on them, or hit them and pull them a little bit loose, and then we get short. This is just insulation's a little low up there. Probably the original insulation. Same thing there. Oh, this is the filter. Filter is actually starting to collapse. It's so dirty. It was starting to collapse into the unit.
Where is the attic?
In the garage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where all this is up there?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, this is the AC differential. So the range that we're looking for is 15 to 22 degrees. We have a 57 and a 63, so it's a 6-degree differential. So barely cooling. If it was hot outside, it would not be cooling.
Right.
Yeah, and I assume
We're
when
good.
they replaced all that.
This is probably from an old furnace, possibly. This looks like deterioration from a heat exchanger on the ground there. It was heating fine now. So even though they're saying they're going to replace the outside unit, just because this is here and the heating actually worked fine, I would have somebody just come and evaluate that, the HVAC come and evaluate that. They're going to take it apart, look at that heat exchanger. They're expensive. Just get in there and look at it.
Okay.
It could be from a past unit. This is the rat dropping. Looks like he put something in there for him to keep him warm. Somewhere or something. Okay.
Very thoughtful. Very thoughtful. The rodents.
Yeah.
Maybe keep them contained.
Keep them happy. Maybe keep them up there.
Yeah, right.
This is your meter handhold, and the meter is completely covered with dirt, so I can't get to the shutoff. Neither can you.
Okay.
And one thing I can't do is check for supply leaks. So one of the things we can do is we look at the low flow indicator on the meter, and you can see if there's any kind of supply leaks going on. So I can't do that. So that dirt needs to be removed. Also, this could cause that over time. If there's enough, that valve could be now seized up. Mm-hmm. So you have a plumbing emergency, and you go out there to try to turn that valve, and you can't turn it because it's stuck in place. Or you get your neighbor, some big neighbor, and he jacks on, and snaps it right off. Mm-hmm. So it needs to be removed and just evaluated. That's just where it's located. This is your sprinkler system. There was, I think, 1 or 2 problems. This is zone 1. This is just a broken pop-up. That's just saying zone 1. I had that heat on earlier. This is, the front door. This is turned sideways. It's the door sweep. Mm. Just on the bottom here, just came close. Mm-hmm. These we're getting to the failed window. So that window up top's failed. The window to the right is failed. This is in the These all look good. It's mostly the ones on the front and this side. The back ones seem to be all fine. This is that front bedroom there. And there's 2. That's just saying there's 2 windows in the center, and then there's 2 on the left are failed. Okay. And the 2 on the right failed. So all of those are failed.
Or HOA will make you replace all the windows if you replace them.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's an expensive thing. I just took this picture to remind you to replace these. All these because they're over 10 years old, so they should be replaced. Failed window at that bedroom. Or actually, that's at the dining room. Those 2 are failed. This is the guest bathroom over here. And the water never really got that hot. It got kind of lukewarm.
Oh no, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, everything else got hot fine, but it just wasn't getting. It just never got.
How do I fix that?
Oh, there's a cartridge in here. It's probably gone bad. The cartridge. So that's something you could do yourself if you're a little bit handy, or you could get a handyman to do it. It's pretty easy.
I've got access to it.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
I'm not it.
That's just where it's at. There's no power in that bathroom. 2 locations in the house, there's no power.
In this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Generally what happens is some of these things were done by the homeowner. They're up in the attic pulling wires, not knowing what they're doing, so they pull the wire.
They didn't pull any permits, and they just
And
came in
unfortunately,
and
they just grab it.
cosmetic remodel.
Okay.
Generally, an electrician wouldn't make that kind of mistake. And this one also has no power. Switch works.
But the attic doesn't have it.
Huh.
Which, I mean, why would you have a plug?
It was probably 2 switches at one time.
Yeah.
What are
you going to plug in right there?
I don't know. Probably
Floor lamp,
for the
maybe?
TV, maybe?
Floor lamp.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know,
Yeah, you would just drop. Yeah, you drop it, pop power in there. That's the bathroom it's at. And then there's more failed windows. All 3 of those are failed.
I need to ask, I don't know if you remember doing that house on Brookhurst, the really old, like, red door, whatever. Ryan, I bought it, and all of his were, and they didn't want to replace because of the money, and they ended up resealing them all. I need to ask how much that was.
Yeah.
That's about $60 a window,
Okay.
I think.
You think that?
Which will add up. That will add up. But just keep in mind, they reseal it.
It's still going to look dirty.
It's still going to look dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or dirty-ish.
Yeah.
This manufacturer. This is me testing the microwave oven to show the microwave oven does work. This is me testing the oven, set to 350 and heated to about 350. That's just meant.
Does it take a long time to heat? Do you know?
My
past two ovens.
I just turn it on when I first get here and then forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check it later.
Ours is like brand new and still takes forever.
Okay.
It drives me
Insane.
Is it,
like
is it a newer one or an older one?
It's a new one.
Yeah, the new
3
ones.
years
The
old.
older ones, you don't usually have problems with them taking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way for me to get a bigger one, right? I guess
Sure.
I can.
Yeah, you could completely remove that whole cabinet area there.
Yeah.
And put it,
Yeah.
and just put a bigger oven in there, and then move the microwave.
So yeah,
Here.
like this is.
That's true.
Seems like where the microwave. I guess this is your. I mean, they have their prevent mechanism.
Yeah. You put the microwave up here.
Yeah.
And then you put a double oven.
Yeah.
Drop that down.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, this is not your.
Yeah, because you got about two, maybe 3 inches on this side.
Yeah.
You won't do the whole 3.5, and then you got this time.
Yeah.
You go.
It's probably what was here and then.
Yeah. Let's look around it.
This light does not work,
Oh, yep. I just.
and it has no. That's actually the third one. No,
Yeah,
no
I
power.
noticed it.
No power there either.
Huh. Okay.
This is the
That's
cooktop.
nice and purple.
Yeah, and then this is the temperatures.
Okay.
All 4 of them worked fine.
Okay.
We'll actually eventually get over 1,000 degrees.
Is there any way to put gas in there
Let's see.
if I wanted to?
Wow.
Well, there's gas in the house, you can definitely do it.
Yeah.
That's if they had it down here already.
Yeah. Doesn't it cost that much if you have it all? It's all
If you
plumbed for it.
And it could be expensive depending on how far they have to go.
To go.
Yeah.
To get there, if the gas meters are over here,
Oh, okay.
so they could go across to the attic, but that pipe is expensive
Yeah.
and a lot of labor, and
Uh-huh.
difficult to do. So
Okay.
you can absolutely do it.
Just expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
This is under the sink. This is improper. That corrugated pipe there,
Mhm.
they'll tend to leak. Also can drain improperly. It's coming off the disposal. I guess probably at some point it could cause the disposal not to drain very well. The disposal did work fine
Yeah, it's definitely major water damage down here.
from before, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. You know, the bottom needs to be taken out. Yeah.
That's easy to do.
Yeah.
There is debris in it, so when I turn it on, you do hear a bunch of rocks or whatever is in there. It just needs to be cleaned out. Actually, we just covered all this right here. This is the drain coming off of the is it dishwasher or the disposal? Dishwasher. Yeah, dishwasher. They don't have an air gap, but which is fine. They can do what's called a high loop. They need to take this and bring it up way far up into the back of the sink. Created what's called a high loop, and that's an acceptable replacement for not having an air gap. Or you remove the soap dispenser and put the air gap where it was originally intended to be.
I don't know what it
Actually,
is.
I've heard they make soap dispensers that are also air gaps, so you can have a dispenser and an air gap.
Yeah.
This is your dishwasher, which looks fairly new, but it does not work.
Oh.
That needs to work.
Yeah, it's a toughie. Okay. Thumbs down.
It sounded like it was working, but you open up, the arm's sitting completely still,
Huh.
and hopefully it's under warranty.
Maybe
This
why
is-
the
this
last
is your-
contract fell through.
This is where, right behind us, that's the other one without power, right there.
But what's surprising is if another one fell through because of these issues and they didn't.
Fix them?
Maybe they're out of money.
Could be.
None of these are really major things.
Yeah. Yeah, you just.
But you don't know why. Again, you don't. It's hard. How people are weird. I've seen people not want to buy the house because they don't like the chandelier.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy the house, or they don't like the way the oven exhausts.
Yeah.
And
I'm not picky about that, but I do need a dishwasher.
there's
Yeah.
all kinds of people on
Do
the
you need
wall.
electricity and dishwasher?
Sure.
This is just missing covers
Color, yeah.
off of the master there. This is the master tub. The spout is loose, and you see it moving back and forth.
Oh, okay.
That needs to be tightened up. And then doesn't have an access panel. That's old code. They generally don't put them there anyway. It's pretty common not to be there. The problem is that I can't inspect the motor for bonding, and I can't look to see if there's any kind of drip leaks or mold underneath there. Not that there probably isn't. That's just a picture I took when I was walking. Delete that. That's the bathroom windows failed.
Yeah.
Other
that's
side
the
there.
one.
South side. That's the other
It was the
side.
other one.
The
that
other
was
one, the big one,
Yeah.
Yeah,
smoky,
tub.
smoky one or whatever.
yeah, the tub one. That's in the other bathroom. Yes,
Oh,
bathroom.
okay, got
This valve is very.
it. Ooh.
I was able to pull that right off,
Okay.
and the valve is loose too. Again, probably homeowner did it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think a licensed plumber would do that. You never know. But, this is under the sink in that bathroom. This is probably where they treated for the termites.
Okay.
Again, there's no sticker, so that's just the location of it. And then we have 2 failed windows in that bedroom. And this is a utility room. The gas valve is not capped off, so if you turn this valve, gas starts coming out of here. So if you got gas and it's not attached to a gas burning appliance, it needs to be capped off.
So does this mean that the dryer has to be? Can you still have electric?
Let's go.
I hope so.
Yeah. Usually it's at 5 and yeah, we've had it for.
You get it to put on the tap.
Yeah.
Probably 25 cents.
Okay.
Or $1, whatever. This is just to remind again about the smoke detectors. I wasn't sure if this is the heat. Took 2 heat readings, and the heat was operating fine. But again, just to be sure, I would evaluate it. And this is what you just brought up, the heat shield.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, any questions?
I mean, but the main issue is foundation roof.
Foundation's fine, roof's fine.
Main thing's fine. Except for the air conditioner, which we're getting replaced.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is that if you were to say you replaced all the windows, you're talking about big money.
Yes.
They probably wouldn't go for that.
No, I mean, I think to be honest, like with their, I would,